Hi guys, my name is Nicholas Moreno, and I'm the author of Becoming Ambidextrous, The Doorway to the Mind of God. So this is my second book, and I just wrote it not too long ago, so I'm super excited about it. In this book, I'm not just talking about becoming ambidextrous, which I do talk about, but I'm also talking about that there is a duality that exists in the whole universe and even within ourselves. So what I want to do is I want to ask my audience, if you're ambidextrous and you use both hands, do you feel different when you use either hand? Like, the reason why I asked that, because personally, that's what I put in my book, is chapter 19, I put that there's a duality within ourselves. And I've noticed that when I use my left hand, I feel more introverted, and I don't feel like really hanging out with so many people, and I'm more focused on doing particular things like playing guitar, instruments, drawing, different various things. But when I use my right hand, I feel much more extroverted. Like I want to talk to people, I have more friends, I'm just way more social. So that's one of the questions I want to ask you guys. So that's my personal experience. And so I'll just draw what I just said is that, like when I'm left-handed, left, I'll just write left, and when I'm right. So when I'm left-handed, like I said, I feel more introverted than when I'm using my right hand. When I'm right-handed, I feel extroverted. And I'm telling you, I realized this by going back and forth between using my left hand and my right hand. So I would, like when I began to desire to learn to use my left hand, when I decided that I was going to, I did it for many years because I wanted to try to catch up to the strength of my right hand. So I focused more on using my left hand the most and not my right hand. So I used my left hand straight for like years, maybe like 5, 6. That's when I first started, 5 or 6 years straight. I just kept using my left hand and I didn't use my right hand. So later on, I became tired of using my left hand because it's obviously not as strong as my right hand. And so I was beginning to, lag behind in everything, like in school, my job. So I decided to switch back to using my right hand. When I switched back to using my right hand, that's when I felt this. I felt very extroverted. And I kind of said to myself, like the first time that happened, I didn't notice that happened. All I thought to myself was, wow, being right-handed is way better than being left-handed. But then I would also think, well, I wasn't born left-handed, so maybe I'm not strong as my right hand, and maybe it's because I'm not strong as with my right hand. That's why I'm not that mentally strong to be social. So, but I did notice that right when that happened. So when that happened, I just said to myself, you know what, I don't want to use my left hand anymore. If it makes me introverted. I also noticed, well, I'll keep going what I'm saying. I didn't want to begin to use my left hand anymore, so I just used my right hand now. So I did the opposite. Because first year I'm like, oh, I don't want to be left-handed. So like I said, 5, 6 years there doing that, being left-handed. So I got tired of it. It's like I couldn't hang, couldn't do it anymore. So I said, okay, I give in, I give up, let's go back. Obviously I got this backup, why not use it? So when I went back to it, that's, like I said, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel super animated. Okay, and so I did the opposite. 5, 6 years here, I went hard. When I went back and I felt this, I said no more here, I'm gonna be over here. So I did the same thing again. I'm not kidding, I probably did it for like another, well, I did this more for like less amount of time before switching back. Because like I said, I just said, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm gonna go back here. So when I went back here, I went hard on it. For like, I don't know how much, but I did great at college. I made the dean's list twice. everything I was excelling. I had so many friends, again, social, all those things. I was doing fine, everything was great. So of course, when everything's going great, what do you want to do? You want to go back. And the reason I wanted to go back was because I was not completely aware of this to myself. I wasn't aware of that. That happens. So I went here and I built it all up again, having a good time, doing great. So I said, you know what? I want to try to strengthen my body again. Because that was really the goal. Strengthen your body, learn how to do things. And so there's one other thing that really made me want to go back, and that's music. As I mentioned before, whenever I play my guitar, my bass, my music instruments, I feel really great. I don't know what it is. It's not the same as being right-handed. When I play guitar right-handed or music, it's not the same. When I play left-handed, I just enjoy it. I play a long time. I can't understand that. I don't know why my left hand likes music, but I get into it. I'm animated. I remember all the parts of the songs. I remember song after song. So that's also why I went back, because I was like, oh, I want to play guitar a little bit more again. It was fun. So I went back and I did this again for like years because I want to strengthen it again. And I'd already done all this stuff, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do that again. So I did this for years again, and again this happened. Again this happened. I become introverted. Same time, the first time that happened, I didn't really notice it. I didn't define it as that. Just something that I thought I was tired, I needed to come here again. Once I was cool, I was recharged, everything was great, I said, let's go back, right? It's like dipping your feet in the water to see what it's like, and then pulling back. That's what I was doing, but for a long period of time. Like, in a way, I'm stubborn too, because like, I didn't want to go back. I just kept like pushing myself, because I wanted to accomplish this. So, I just kept pushing on it, and I'm stubborn. So, when I did go back, okay, everything's great. I went back again, and that's when I noticed this started happening again. But again, you don't notice. What's the craziest part of your brain is that it does stuff that you don't know what it's doing. Like, we're not in complete control of our brain. The body and mind, they work together, but sometimes like your body controls your brain. Okay, so I wasn't aware of this because it's like I'm using this side of my brain. So it's like stepping over to another room. You know? And in this room, you're like, okay, in this room here, you're like thinking normal. I wouldn't say normal, but like the way the game is played in the world. But when you're over here, you're like not. You're in the opposite world. That's how I can describe it. That's what I put in my book. This left-handed mind is the opposite world of the right-handed mind. Because I did this for a long time again. Same thing happened. I'm just like not too social. Just playing guitar in my house. Hang out with my wife. I just keep it limited with people. I don't know why that happens. So I did this for another years. I'm gonna say like 6 years again. Left-handed, 6 years. My job, writing, everything. And I neglected my right hand. Because I'm like, oh, it's time to like, focus on this one again. So I did that again. So what happened? I went back. Okay, I went back again. The reason why I went back is because I seriously became tired again. I became tired again. And I said, well, maybe I should use my right hand again. So when I did that, this happened again. And I cannot deny it anymore. I can't deny that happens. I can't. And I don't know why that happens. But like I said, this duality of black and white, it exists in everything. Because after this happened to me, I said, why? Why the heck? I want to use my left hand. I want to make it strong. I want to be great. But what, am I mentally suffering? Like physically, I feel like I'm getting stronger, but mentally, am I suffering? And so my right hand, as I mentioned, it's not fast. It can't do things for a long time. But my mind, it seems very great. Like, hey, everybody, socialize. Like I said, it's, my goodness, when I was in college, everything was great. I know what I'm saying. I was like full steam. Everything was fine. So I said, is this just happening to me? Do I think this is just me? Like, hey, maybe it's just me, right? So when you get ideas like that, is it just me? You start looking around, and that's what I did. I started looking around. And so people at my job or school or whatever, I would look and see if they're left-handed. And then I would look at their behavior based on if they're left-handed. I know all people are different. Like, what's curious though is that 90%, I don't know if you can see that, 90% of the world's population are right-handed. Let me clean this board. The way of the dragon. Alright, so look. Okay. 90% of the world's population, these markers are not that great. 90% of the world's population are, I'll just put RH, right-handed. It's like supposedly, it's like between 85 to 95%. So that's the majority. Majority of people in the world are right-handed. Minority of people, 10 to 12%, are left-handed. That's a very small fraction of people that are left-handed. That's crazy small. Compared to 90, so like I don't know how many, do the math. I don't know how many people are in the world, billions. 90% of billions is like still way more than this little fraction. So this is why people don't know that left-handed people think different. Okay, what I was saying was I started looking around to see if who's left-handed that I could analyze and talk to. Because I was very curious, right? As I should be. So I have a lot of friends. I'm sorry, like I remember everybody in my high school that was left-handed. I had like a couple friends that were left-handed, and in my job I have a friend that was left-handed too. Yes, what I'm gonna say is like one of my friends at my job, she's like so introverted. And it's not disrespect because like I said, that's the way I became. It's very introverted. So I said, yeah, you're so introverted, like she's always stayed at her desk by herself, and you know, she's a cool person and everything, but that's what I feel is like when I'm left-handed, I can't really reach out to people. It's like I like people, I like talking to people, but I don't know how to like initiate. It's so weird. But like most right-handed people, they're like boisterous. Like, you know, they go to like a sports bar, and that's 90% of people are right-handed. So what I want to say is, what is probably the most important information in my book is to tell you, if you're left-handed, you should try to use, not become right-handed, but taste the right hand. Use it, taste it, use it, but I'm telling you, I hope it makes you more social and it opens this door for you. Because left-handed people are great at art, they're great at music, but I think they suffer socially. See, like I said, I study a lot of people, not just people I know, but then I started looking on the internet at famous people. So like, I know a lot of famous people that are left-handed. Lady Gaga's left-handed, Eminem's left-handed, Justin Bieber's left-handed, Obama's left-handed. I have a whole list of people. So what I did was start going on the internet, YouTube, putting in these people and put an interview. So I like Conan O'Brien the most because he lets the person, the guest, be themselves and just talk the way they want to talk. And that's when it's like a psychology. That's when you're like, okay, I'm listening here. Let's see what this left-handed person talks like or thinks like. does this person like fulfill what I'm thinking? You know, that they're introverted more. They're not very like funny. I would say left-handed people are not funny. Like, I looked up left-handed comedians. It's like Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld. He has a show where he's a comedian, but I think he's an actor playing a comedian. But I know he does stand-up too, but, he's kind of quirky comedian. The same thing with I'm going to say, well, most people in the world are right-handed, but the funniest comedians are mostly right-handed. Believe me, they're very extroverted, they're social, and they're laughing and stuff, but left-handed people are more like, I don't know, they're in control. Now, I wouldn't say in control, but they're like, they don't express themselves like, that's the way I feel, and that's what I put in my book. And, see, people say like, how come there aren't that many left-handed people? Is it wrong to be left-handed? Is there something wrong with being left-handed? So after learning the way that I feel from using both hands, I feel that there's less left-handed people because they're less social. And also, I feel that most people are unaware of the behavior of a left-handed person because there's such a small fraction of left-handed people to actually observe. But that's why I'm making these videos, because this is me pulling on a string that it's just taking me somewhere, and I just want to say, dude, I got to talk to people about this. I wrote a book about it because I'm telling you, that's what is going through my head. So I got a lot of ideas burning through my skull, buddy. So in all my chapters, I explain the duality that exists. I explain, let's see here. Like, okay, for example, just the last one, because I know I went crazy far on this one, but I don't care, You guys are my audience, and we're here to just talk about, are you curious about being ambidextrous? There has to be more to it. And this is really the more to it, because it's like, I feel like I'm a pilot. I flew this plane, I came back, and now I'm here to tell you what I experienced. So what I was about to say was, I wanted to talk about, I looked in the book right here, because I have so many chapters, but it was just real quick that I wanted to break it down. I talk about my personal experience. I talk about Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix. I talk about Nikola Tesla, and I talk about Leonardo da Vinci. I talk about, because Nikola Tesla, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm spinning over. Nikola Tesla, he's like notoriously introverted. Look him up, he's a genius, like you wouldn't believe. But his personal life, he was extremely introverted. The same goes with Leonardo da Vinci. Well, they say he was a great person, but there's like two drawings of Leonardo da Vinci. And also, you can look up Michelangelo, who has said to painted the Sistine Chapel with both hands. So he's crazy, he's crazy ambidextrous. What am I saying? Introverted. He's crazy introverted. Too many thoughts in my head. So Michelangelo, very introverted person. Another person like Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was left-handed, very introverted. So I want to know what you think. If you're left-handed, do you feel introverted? Do you feel like more like I'd rather hang around less people than a lot of people? And if you're ambidextrous, do you feel like what I'm saying? Can you confirm to me that, hey, I do feel that way, or there is a duality occurring when I use my hands? But I also explain all the duality in the world. Like I have a chapter DNA, because there's a duality to DNA. So you know what? Man, I had a good thought. I'm just excited. This is my second video I'm doing of this. Yeah, see, I talk about playing guitar, because I have a great time when I play guitar, but it is not like making me too social after I do it. So Alright guys, I'll just wrap it up right there, but I was going to do something else, but you know what, who cares? Next video, I'm going to bring out some more stuff. So let me know what you think, guys, and I would appreciate it. Let's do this. Alright guys, peace.